Okay, so hydrocarbons definition is a group of substances that contain exclusively hydrogen and carbon. Each carbon atom in the alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes will attach to 4 other atoms. The bonds of single carbon atoms will rotate, whereas double bonds and upwards won't. The definitions of alkanes are they're saturated hydrocarbons, which means they only contain single bonds. Alkenes are unsaturated hydrocarbons containing at least one double bond, and alkynes are unsaturated and contain at least one triple bond. Alkanes, alkenes, and alkynes are odorless below a carbon chain of 8, smell of petrol above 8. They're colorless, they have low melting and boiling points. Alkanes have the lowest and alkynes are the highest. Alkanes are the most stable while alkynes are the most unstable, and they have different physical states at room temperature. Currently, I don't need to know how to name alkynes, so I'll leave a link below on how to name them if you do. So in this, for alkenes and alkanes, step 1 is to look for the longest carbon chain, which you then number from one side to the other so that it has the lowest number of double bond and the lowest and smallest possible groups. You then label this. For alkanes, the suffix is "-ane", and for alkenes, the suffix is "-ene", and then you need to label the chain with a prefix, which will be noted next to this. So the position of the double or triple bond will then be marked in the alkene or alkyne, and you don't need it for the alkane. That'll be in the middle of the hydrocarbon. For the side chains, you're going to need to name them with the correct prefix for groups of however many carbons and add the "-il" on the end. With multiple side chains, the same prefix will be added with di, tri, tetra, penta, and hexa as the prefix for the prefix. Then you need to name the position on where the chains appear as well. This will be like maybe 3, 4 for dimethyl and or 2 for just methyl. It depends. I have got the assembled formula here. So 3-ethyl 2,4-dimethyl-hexane. The hexane is the first step. Methyl di 2,4-ethyl 3 is the second step, and then assembling is this step. Additions to the formula will probably be cis or trans or possibly cyclo. Cis and trans is only for alkenes, and cis is when they're both on the same side, and trans is when they're diagonal. These will only occur in specific situations, and you just add them onto the front of the main block of the carbon chain section of the name. Another section of alkanes, alkenes, and at times alkynes is the substitution and addition reactions that they take part in. Substitution reactions only happen to alkanes, and they have a catalyst of UV light. In this example, the 2-bromide will react with the, I think this is just methane, to create bromomethane. And hydrogen bromide, I'm not entirely sure what that is. Anyway, but the important part of this reaction is that you just substitute one of the bromides with the hydrogen, and when it's more than just one bromide, you say dibromomethane instead, tribromomethane, and upwards of that. Addition reactions only happen to alkenes, and this is where the double bond will split. You then just add the prefix of, well, in some of these examples, it'd be bromo again, but you just split it so that it's ethane instead of methane, like in the previous example. This will have many different catalysts. Yeah. Bye.